Great. All right. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to share a few pointers about who I am, what I do, and what I'm most passionate about. So I help business owners how to sell their stuff to more people without the ick. That is, if you like, my first entry. So before we actually go into the nuts and bolts, I really wanted to just quickly touch on the stats. In the UK, we have 5.5 million SMEs. I'm sure many of you know this. About 4 million are single business owners, and they constitute 99.8% of the GDP. So basically, every single SME constitutes to the entire economy of the UK. So we're a pretty important group when you look at it that way. I've personally trained tens of thousands of people, both individually and collectively, in the last 15 years. I've done over 500 discovery calls since May 2024, just counted them up the other day. But what I've noticed, and also the statistics validate that, is fewer than 2% of people ever break the £10,000 a month net profit for themselves or 100K a year profit barrier. And we also know that about 80% businesses fail in the first 5 years, and 0.4% survive beyond 10 years and generate more than £10 million in revenue. So I am here to challenge that status quo. I'm passionate about helping people be successful and have what they want to create with their business. So sorry, I've been an entrepreneur for over 35 years. For 20 years, I ran bricks and mortar businesses in Paris. And then for the last 15 years, I've had multiple hybrid businesses. I'm a TEDx speaker, personal stylist. I was direct seller of the year in 2017 in the UK. I'm in the top 1% of the sales performance plan, and I've scaled my business to over 20 countries and 8 figures in the last 15 years. And I've also coached individually with my business development program over 50 people in the last couple of years as well. So quite a broad spectrum of experience. So not going to read all these out, obviously, but I'm obsessed with one thing, which is results. Because whatever we do in business, we want to have people who are happy, they feel that they have got value for their money, and that we've been able to make a real impact and a positive difference to their businesses. So my greatest joy is when I see a text or a WhatsApp from someone saying, "Oh, you're never going to believe this," and I'm like, I know, right? So this is what we want is to really happy clients who get real results so that they can then go on achieve more for themselves, but also of course spread the word, and reviews are everything. So I have a limited company, Bridget Long Companies, which is in basically roughly divided into 4 sections. I have, as I said, a direct sales organization. My business and coaching development agency is called the Freedom Project. And I'm also a turnaround consultant. So I work with single, multiple unit bricks and mortar businesses who want to either sell or scale. And this is more where I work on like either an equity share or a revenue share. And I'm also a professional speaker. I do workshops, immersion weekends, and I have a signature keynote that I have done to tens of thousands of people all around the world. So I just wanted to really try and add some value here in this little section, which is there are multiple challenges that we face as business owners, but they can roughly be divided into 2 sections. Mindset, which is actually, I would say, 99.9% of people who haven't made that 10K plus, and then some business skills. Business skills are easy to learn. You just kind of like learn them, get the reps in, do the study, and do them again until you get good at them. In terms of the mindset, there are some really always deep limiting beliefs, which will play themselves out unless we become A, cognizant of them, and B, then want to do something about them. And it's not a task for the faint-hearted. But what I've noticed is a couple of sort of salient points, which is our income is the average of about the 5 people we spend most of our time with. If you have a look do that exercise, you're sort of like, oh my God, that's true. They're afraid of what other people think, particularly when it comes to social media, because the internet is forever and people can be, sort of a little bit daunting when you put yourself out there. A lack of focus is also a huge thing, and also self-image. So what I work with, imagine if you're in a rowing boat, one oar is for mindset and the other one is business skills, and we have to row both in order to make the boat go forward. Because if we only focus on, reading and mindset, the boat's going to go around one way and vice versa. So it's a two-pronged approach to the way I work with people so we can get the results. So then the thing I as entrepreneurs, as I said, often we struggle with focus and we're kind of like in lots of scattered directions. So what I learnt, was taught, applied, and have got amazing results with is learning how to have a proper daily system. Now, the entire planet, the entire universe is built on an efficient system. The body is built on an efficient system. The roots of a tree are built on an efficient system. So we need an efficient system for our business. And that means when we wake up in the morning, we have peace of mind because we know exactly what we need to do to move the needle forward in the right proportion. Now, this is really, really important. And I always give the example of, for example, a cake recipe, right? So if you want to make a cake, in this particular one, it's, so eggs, butter, flour, sugar, raspberries, and, various things. Now, it's all very well having the ingredients, but if you have two eggs in the recipe and you put 12 eggs in the recipe, still eggs, but everything's out of proportion and you get an omelette, not a cake. And so what I really find is a lot of people really focusing on non-revenue generating activities, which are less scary, like post and post and post, or post and pray, as we call it. But then they don't have the right proportion of the number of outreaches, and being able to really connect with the right people. And I think that is the key. What I've used, and that's what teach myself, and I've been taught. I've applied myself, and I teach other people. Because as the great James Clear said, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And having a system that we can follow, it doesn't negate creativity. It's just like a grid. And then we can put our own stamp of personality on top of that. But it really, really does work. And that's what I work with. So a couple of things. I'm not going to read this out, but why some people I work with make 10 times more money than others. They invest in themselves heavily, with coaching and training. They're eternal learners, or leaders are learners. They value freedom, and they're willing to make sacrifices for short term, for a longer term success. And I think that one of the big things is that they are accountable. That's a huge one. And also being consistent. Focused and consistency is really, really sort of like the master key, or as we like to say, boring but rich. So how do I work with my private clients on my Freedom Project? I have 4 signature offers. I have a 24-week luxury VIP experience, which includes, travel, face-to-face work, as well as online. My main one that most people work with is the 12-week peak performance program, which is very comprehensive, series of calls and, tons of bonus materials. Some people just want to do a 2-hour deep dive where I'll have a look at their social media, give them a complete overview and analysis. And I also have low-priced self-paced bonus bundles as well. So it really is then just a question of, finding what level of participation people want to work with me, and then we move forward from there. So just to finish, I do have a little January giveaway, which is worth one of my bonus bundles, which is £395 worth. I'm looking for 5 people who would love to have my questionnaire, my checklist, and have a 60-minute done with you session. It could be somebody that you know or yourselves. Please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you very much.